Today I fucked up when I willing drank fermented camel milk in Mongolia. Yesterday I finally got the chance to tell my story in r/abrupt chaos, and it was recommend I share it here. Back in 2016, I drank fermented camel milk because some lovely camel farmers offered it. Was with a few volunteers to help the infrastructure of a small Mongolian community hundreds of miles away from a town or city. They were serving tea as well as camel milk in the afternoon with lots of wonderful homemade bread. They passed me a bowl and I took a sip. Looking back, this is where I fucked up. Tasted like rotten yogurt. It just made me instantly feel queasy. But I swallowed it, thanked them and tried to move on. Later that night, a girl that tried the milk shat the bed. I woke up to her cleaning. I was delirious and sick as well, but wasn't aware how bad I was yet. Then the need to shit hit me. Could tell I was about shit my soul out, so I ran out the Mongolian nomadic home, and ran to the giant hole in the ground that was the toilet. To paint a picture, this toilet was just a big ol' hole full of shit, piss and blood with two wooden boards over it for balance. It had a short mud wall around the hole and no roof. You could reach the sides of the wall when balancing on the wooden boards. I proceeded to release the demons pent up inside me, but it didn't end there. I began to throw up. Apparently the locals call this the double dragon because it is quite common for Western volunteers to not adjust well to their food. I was now emptying my body on both sides and holding onto the mud brick wall for dear life. It didn't end there. Other people were also very sick, but you see there were only two toilets. I got one and another dude got another. Everyone else that got the double dragons just had to run out into a field and drop their pants. One girl who didn't get sick for some reason was going around trying to help people, passing out hair ties and such. I'm holding onto the walls, throwing up, shitting a storm and just praying for my life to end, but I think to myself, at least I got the toilet right. Well, when I feel something crawl over my hands, I begin to think otherwise. It's pitch black outside and I can't see anything. Called to the girl helping to bring a flashlight real quick so I can see what just crawled over my hand. I honestly didn't know what it was. Well, she comes over and shines the light on the mud walls and I'm greeted with the sight of at least a dozen large brown spiders scuttling in and out of the cracks of the wall. At this point I want to cry. I start hugging myself because the walls are literally crawling with spiders. But the double dragons didn't care. It didn't care that there were spiders, and I knew couldn't hold my balance at this rate. I knew I would fall in if I didn't hold on to something. Well, the girl that came over to shine her light knew this. Just as she shined her light on me like an angel, she reached her hand out to me like an angel too. She grasped my hand and held me in place until I was done. I have never felt so close with another human being since. I have never been the same since this incident. A silver lining to this story is that I am no longer afraid of shitting in public restrooms. I used to be one of the girls that was nervous to poop in public. Now I literally could not give a shit. I don't care if it's a porta potty or squatty. Anything is better than big spiders you don't recognize. Here are some pics of what the area looked like. Obviously don't have any pics from the night as I was preoccupied, but these are pics of the infamous toilets in this story, safe for work. Too long didn't read. I drank fermented camel milk and experienced the double dragons of food poisoning that led me to hover over a pit of shit crawling with spiders. I love a good poo story to help get me to sleep. Edit, I probably shouldn't have said that. Now I've seen at least 2 additional poo stories on my scroll. Looks like I won't be getting to sleep now. Though, at least you had a toilet. I had an empty field when I was in Turkmenistan. Then came the spiders part. NVM. I was expecting the FU to be you falling into the toilet hole. Glad it wasn't that bad, especially after the spiders on the walls X_X. My grandpa used to talk about people dying in toilet holes during the Great Leap Forward. Didn't know how to swim, fell into hole filled with piss and shit at night because you can't see shit, literally, and then drown in the village's poo and pee. I got something similar my first night in Kuwait in 2008. I ate at the DIFAC dining facility. It was 2 AM and I was stuck in a portable shitter building. Couldn't reach the window. I couldn't reach the door. There was a stack of water but I couldn't reach it. This was in July. In Kuwait, temp outside was still 110 degrees. Inside this stuffy prefab hut it had to be 150 degrees. I just sat there cramping like I was giving birth and pissing lava out of my ass nearly continuously. It felt like hours. Started screaming hoping someone would hear me. I thought that my wife was going to be notified of my death. I just hoped my buddies made it sound heroic. The sweat was pouring off my body in rivers. It was hell. Someone else finally needed the shitter and entered. The breeze was so heavily I almost didn't notice their dry heaves. They propped the door open for me and rolled a few water bottles my way. They also stayed outside till I was done smoking, to make sure I didn't die. We became good friends that deployment. I wasn't a smoker yet, but after I finished, I smoked a few cigs. You need to after having your asshole abused in that fashion. Swear my normally tight body armor was loose after that. I never ate at that shower hall again. I only ate MREs till we got to Iraq. I felt your pain in your story. Your ass saw more combat than the actual deployment. Wow. Today I fucked up by taking out the trash on mobile, English not my first LG, etc. This is a double FU, to be fair. I, 23F, depend on my physical ability quite a bit. I go everywhere by bicycle, I am a long distance runner and I teach dance and fitness as a secondary job. Rewind 6 weeks. On the way to university, bike, of course, I flew off it with incredible grace and broke my ankle. So much for running, dancing, cycling, everything. Doc put a cast on me and said, no less than 2 months. Today, it has been 6 weeks. I have been living peacefully, recovery going great. I am very able to move around and do most things, excited to get my cast off soon enough. One thing has been very hard, though, and that is taking out the trash. I live on the 2nd floor and carrying the bag with the crutches just demands another hand. Most of you probably suspect where this is going. Please, do laugh. Well, luckily, as I stand at the top of the stairs, my neighbor is coming outside. Need a hand? He asks, and I say the dumbest thing in my life, no thanks, I'll be fine. You know how cartoon characters only fall when they look down? Yes. Well, that was probably what my neighbor saw next, as I descend graciously, crutches rattling, trash scattering all over the stairs. Flash forward to the hospital. Yes, I broke the ankle again. I also broke the bone above it and 2 ribs. You are allowed to laugh. I can't, it hurts. Too long didn't read. Don't take out the trash if your bones are broken. Edit. Whoa, thanks for the awards and well wishes. That's not what they meant by break a leg while preforming for your neighbor. In this time of great need on your part, I will bestow upon you words of wisdom proffered throughout the ages. Sucks to be you. Nonetheless, and despite it really be sucking to be you at the moment, at least you learned something. Accept help when offered and especially when needed, such is currently, with even more broken bones, and was your case, with fewer broken bones. It's always okay to do so, never forget. I wish you a speedy recovery, and hope you're back on your feet in no time. I broke my wrist, 3 ribs and dislocated my hip last year. Motorbike, have a permanent metal plate in my wrist now, 2 surgeries, but oh my, the ribs. Ribs are the worst. Get well soon. Well, at least you learnt something. Get well soon. Curious to know what made you decline his help when it was abundantly clear that you did, in fact, need help. Maybe they didn't want to be a burden, pride, or simply are dumb like me and try to do everything on their own. Lol. Today I fucked up after failed suicide attempt just to explore that life isn't that harsh. So this happened few years ago. I had a choice to make between my girlfriend and my friends. I always kept her as priority because we've been together more than 4 years and I'm not good at making friends, so I always fall for toxic ones. I kept my girlfriend over anyone just to get ditched by her after all of my friends left me. I tried getting over it for months but couldn't help. She said now I ain't got nobody, there's no point of my life, and I literally felt that hate for me in her eyes. She spread rumored about her that I played her, which in turn she was one who played me. Those arguments were such a mental torture for me. I couldn't handle it at one point. I felt lonely, had nobody to share my pain with, then distanced myself from everyone. Later on I felt depressed, and at one point I thought there's no point of living like this, so I decided to end this all at once. But I was scared, so I tried to make it look like an accident. I jumped off the stairs thinking that it will leave me unconscious and it will be an easy death. Luckily I had a few fractures in arms and joints and made full recovery after few months. And here comes the only nice part. When I was hospitalized I made new friends and met new people. Finally had people who loved me. I felt happiness after so long. My ex-girlfriend figured out that I fell off the stairs on purpose. Rest of world thinks it was just a bad accident. She was like, there are no accidents, Master Uruguay. Smiley face. Now life is good. I got what I deserve, nice friends, goals to achieve, happy life. All of this taught me that suicide isn't actually the answer to any problem. I ain't a coward, I'll face anything, any problem instead of ending my life. TL, doctor. I tried to end up my life after losing those who were never mine. Got in touch with real friends who made me realize life is so bow. Today I fucked up if we look it in another way. And trust me, suicide isn't solution to any problems. I've experienced it. It will only bring guilt and sadness to your loved ones and ones who loved you after you're long gone. Edit, didn't believe I'll get this much love and support. I do read each and every comment from you all. It means a lot to me. Sad face. Love you all. Black heart, you're those nice stranger friends whom I was talking about above. Sending virtual love, heart, heart. Yes, I'm so happy that you finally have people around you who love you. Enjoy your time, W them. Impressive, I love it. You didn't F up. Depression can get the best of ourselves sometimes. Please stay healthy and never try to hurt yourself again. I'm here whenever you're feeling down. WHOLESOME. I made some of my best friends in group after we all had been in the psych ward post attempt. We kept each other alive and still chat to this day 7 years later. Crazy club friends are the real MVPs.